Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trent, and welcome back to yet another installment of Life Stories. Today, we are not going to be hanging out with the entitled parents, but we are moving back around to Reddit / I don't work here, lady. So let's get started. I recently graduated high school, so I obviously still look like a high schooler. I went to visit my old high school as I was picking up my sister, who was shadowing there. This was a private Catholic all-girls high school with no more than 400 girls. Being as it was a small school, and I being a recent graduate, most staff and the students knew me. First thing you do to enter the school is you need to get a badge from the front desk. It clearly said alumni. I put it on my shirt, pull my phone out and plug my headphones in, and head to my old advisor's classroom. It was still early to pick up my sister, and I got permission to meet with my old advisor. Since it was a bit of a walk, I was wearing wedges, jeans, and a blouse because I came from a presentation at my university. I plugged my earbuds in and examined the hallways. All of a sudden, someone rips my earbuds out of my ear. Crazy teacher, who will hereby be referred to as CT. Why are you not in your uniform? It is not 150 yet. It was a rule that you couldn't be out of uniform until after 150 if you were a senior, since it was a senior privilege. Also, you know the rules. 1 earbud. She waves my earbuds in my face. I'm sorry, miss, but She cuts me off. Also ripped jeans and hooped earrings. That is a dress code violation. I try to speak. Come with me to the dean. Everyone was in an assembly in the other building, so no one but some teachers were in the main building. This lady takes me to the dean's office. I know the dean well. She was my coach's mom and my other coach's wife. CT pushes me into the chair outside the office and knocks on the door to tell the dean that she has a student who's breaking several handbook rules. The dean says she's finishing up an email and she will be out in a few. Then CT looks back at me as I again tried to explain to her that I'm not a student. I point to my now messed up badge. She ignores me and I give up and pull out my phone. I'm very annoyed at this point and just wanted to piss her off because I was doing nothing wrong. She sits on the other chair across the hall and sees me take my phone out. She tries to pull it out of my hand and tells me I shouldn't be on my phone during school hours. I go, ma'am, I am not a student here. I go to insert university here. I am here for my sister. She rolls her eyes. Being accepted to a college does not mean you are there yet. You are still under our rules, she says. After a few minutes, the dean walks out. She doesn't see me at first and looks at CT and says, "Who is it?" The CT points at me and follows her finger and sees me giving her a look that screams, "Lord help me, because I cannot be held responsible if this lady yells at me again." She asks me to come inside her office with the CT. The dean says, "Ah, my name. Great to see you. How's college?" I said, "Great. My sister's shadowing today and I got out early, so I came down to hopefully say hi to my old teachers." "That's good. I saw your sister this morning. Wonderful girl." At this moment, she calls CT in. "CT, what was the problem with Miss My Name?" "She was on her phone and had 2 earbuds in wandering the hallways. Also, she is in several violations of dress code. She needs to be punished. I asked her several times to put her phone away. She also talked back to me and lied about her status here." I sigh, and I look at the dean and laugh. "This is no laughing matter!" The dean turns to me. "I'm sorry for CT's behavior. She's new here. This is insert my name. She is an alumni from 2019. Her sister is shadowing today, and I can't punish her for anything. She has her name tag saying she's an alumni visitor," as she points to the tag. "Thank you," I say to the dean. "CT, I'm sorry for the confusion, and I didn't mean to cause trouble." The dean asks CT to return to work, as she will be talked to later. The dean asked me if I wanted to report her, and I was like, "No thank you, it was a misunderstanding. An unnecessary one, but still a mistake." The dean nods, hugs me, and I was off to see my other teachers. I finished visiting the teachers that were there and walked past the office of CT, who sat there and gave me glares. I smiled, went back to the front desk, and waited for my sister. Nothing happened to CT, but I heard she got a good lecture about the way she approached students or visitors. Okay, I know this is supposed to be I don't work here, lady, but when you really think about it, I don't go to school here, lady, kinda works too. Moving on to our second story, which is a long one, we will be taking a look at I do work here, but I don't work here. Our cast is me, Micro Eclair, Kay, the Karen, formerly known as a decent human being, SW, the stand worker, and SG, the security guard. This all happened this past summer while I was working at a baseball stadium. This was during a game as the team made a push for the playoffs. The ballpark was packed, not sold out, but definitely could have been. I worked as a warehouse worker. My job was to get an order form from a concession stand, load up all the stuff they need, cups, condiments, frozen foods, candies, etc., and send them off to said concession stands. We mostly do this before the game starts, but there are circumstances that they run out of certain products during the game which were commonplace. On this day, I had an order of a portable stand, so I did everything as usual, load up the cart of what we needed, get it signed off, and made my way towards the concourse. I made sure to be careful to make sure I didn't hit any fans on my way there. Once I got to the portable, I gave him his order and stocked it for him, as he was busy with customers. Behind the stand was a pretty good view of the field, and sometimes I stopped to watch the game. It wasn't interesting, just a stolen base, but it was at least fun to watch the fans high-five one another when it did occur. Just before the player stole the base, I heard a loud Of course, I ignored it, not thinking it was for me. Just as the stadium cheered loudly, I faintly hear a louder Again, I pay no mind to it. Finally, I turn around and go back to the warehouse where I saw her. Karen McEntitledheimer. She looked like a cross between a stereotypical Karen and a normal decent woman. Long blonde hair, sunglasses too big for her face, neon pink lipstick, a sparkly pink baseball jersey, with hideously matching hot pink yoga pants, black high heels, and a scowl that would even make the Grim Reaper shudder in fear. Accompanied by her is a little 10-year-old boy who mostly stayed quiet during this whole thing. Finally! Now can you open the snow cone stand? I looked to the left of me, which was the snow cone stand. Indeed closed. I'm sorry, ma'am, but that stand is closed. I know that. Now you're here, so open it. I was a bit dumbfounded. Ma'am, if you want a snow cone, there might be an open stand in the upper concourse on the 4th floor. Why should we go all the way up there? You're here. Open the stand and give my son a snow cone. I apologize, ma'am, but I don't work here. Don't lie to me. Yes, you do. You have the badge and everything. It was true. I was wearing the employee badge and a blue shirt with the team logo. I should point this out because the uniforms for each department are different. The uniforms for the concession stands are either green or have their own corporate branding, i.e. Papa John's. If anyone was wondering, the snow cone stand was a Bahama Bucks, and I'm not wearing any BB branding anywhere. Well, yes, I do work here, but I don't work here. I made sure to put extra emphasis on the do and here. Stop lying. Just serve me. This isn't my department. You're just being a lazy slacker. Kids these days have no respect for us elders. I'm only 20 years old, and she doesn't look older than 35. The stand worker chimes in. Ma'am, he's telling the truth. Don't stick up for him! Look, believe me or don't, I have to get back to work. I get behind the cart and was preparing to push it back to the warehouse when suddenly Karen blocked my path. The innocent kid covers his face, wanting to just be a baseball and be hit out of here. You aren't going anywhere until you give my son a snow cone. Lady, what's your problem? I said I don't work at this stand. Yes, you do. Stop being lazy. Open up the stand and give me and my son some dang snow cones. And they better be free now with how rude you were. The stand worker chimes in again. Lady, he said he doesn't work here. Stay out of this, popcorn boy! Suddenly everyone was watching this crazy lady go crazy, all because a snow cone stand was closed. The stand worker whose stuff I delivered radioed for security. I can have you fired for being a lazy little snob. For the last time, this isn't my department. Lazy and rude. God, why did this team hire you? You don't deserve to work here. Suddenly, a security guard came in behind her. I personally knew her, and she's always been very kind and nice. But she took her job seriously, and can be very sassy when you get up in her business. Is there a problem here? Karen turned around and threw her hands in relief. Oh, thank goodness you're here. You need to take him away. This kid couldn't do his job properly. The security guard looked at me. I only waved at her, which caused her to smile. And what do you have to say for yourself? No, don't ask him. Just take my word for it. I was just doing my job delivering to this stand, and I was suddenly blocked off by this lady demanding I open a stand I never worked for in my life. He's lying. He doesn't work here. You can ask anyone here. You can ask the stand worker over there if his words match either of ours. Don't bother asking him. He's just a dumb popcorn boy. I'm gonna have to ask you to be quiet, or else I'll escort you out of the ballpark. This seemingly shut her up. Then, SG talked to SW. Go ahead and tell your side of things. Well, OP just came in and delivered some stuff to me. He then was about to leave when this lady just demanded he open the stand. You dumb kids, telling lies to cover your behinds! Okay, that's it, ma'am. I'm afraid you'll have to come with me. No, you can't believe these lazy kids! I did nothing wrong! You disturbed the peace and halted these two from working. Now come on. She then takes the woman off as she keeps screaming about how it's my fault because I'm so lazy and didn't do my job right. I shrugged it off and went back to work. I thought that would be the end of it until about half an hour later when I heard screaming. I peeked out towards the tunnel leading towards the concourse to see Karen in handcuffs being led up the tunnel by police, while her son walked next to them looking quite humiliated. She was also screaming about how she didn't do anything wrong. She spots me and turns even more red than before. You did this to me! I'll sue you! I only looked on in bewilderment when I saw the security guard walk up to me. I asked her what the heck happened after she took Karen away. Turns out, as she whisked her away, Karen shoved her and even spat on her. She ran off and hid in the crowd, only to be spotted instantly. It was quite easy, since being decked out in pink made her stick out from the crowd like a sore thumb. She was quickly arrested. I don't know on what exact charges, but I can guess it's for assault on a security guard, disturbing the peace, and multiple counts of rat Karen-teering. This all most likely will end with her being permanently banned from the ballpark. And all this happened for a freaking snow cone. Dealing with entitled people is not what anyone had in mind when going to watch America's favorite pastime. Oh, and for those who are into baseball, our team won the game and made the playoffs. A satisfying ending from Karen's wrath. Thanks for reading. Hey, you know what? You make the playoffs and put a Karen in the slammer? I'd say that's a win-win. Anyway, guys, with those two rather long ones out of the way today, I'm so glad you guys were able to tune in. That is all the time we have. Don't forget, once again, to like, comment, and subscribe for more life stories. I am Trent, and I will see you guys next time.